What's going on, everybody? It's Chad Sharp from R2 Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about the Eternals. The Eternals, starring people like Salma Hayek, Angelina Jolie, that one guy from Game of Thrones, that other guy from Game of Thrones, and a bunch of other people. This is a big cast. Everybody in this cast is really good. Kamal Nanjiani, he's really funny in this movie. So, this is a movie where... This is the first Marvel movie that I've seen where I don't know a lot about these characters. I know the basics of these characters, but I didn't know in depth as I do with other Marvel characters. So this is the first movie where I really didn't know what to expect. I knew who the Eternals were, but not individually who these characters were. And it was interesting for me to finally see a Marvel movie or a superhero movie in general that I actually didn't really know what was going to happen. A lot of the movies where, like Thor, Captain America, I read the comics, I've seen the cartoons when I was little, so I had a pretty good idea of what the stories were, what was going to happen when those movies came out. Now, we're getting into those kind of B and C teams of Marvel movies, and I don't really know these characters. But it's fun for me to finally not know what I'm expecting to see. Also, I had probably the worst movie theater experience while seeing this movie, so I would love to see it again to see if I missed anything or, there was anything there that bothers me when I seen it, but maybe it wouldn't have bothered me in a second viewing or whatever. So basically the story is the Celestials, which are these giant, outer space alien beings, create the Eternals, and they are to fight the Deviants. And the Deviants are these... They seem to mimic animals and mythic creatures and things that they're these big monsters, but they fight. They come to Earth. They're these deviants are the apex predators of the planet now because they are way stronger than anything we have on Earth. So the Eternals have to come down, fight these deviants, and kind of keep them off the planet. So when we first meet a lot of the characters, they came a very long time ago, and this story jumps from the past to present fairly often. And I really liked this movie, but I think there are some things that are wrong with it. Mainly that there's so much lore and so much story that they're trying to combine over thousands and thousands of years that they're trying to smash into one movie. There's also a lot of characters that are in this movie and trying to give screen time and backstories to all these different people. It's hard to balance all that. You're basically running a team-up movie with no knowledge of any of the characters that were in this movie. So you're trying to... And I think they did a good job of giving characterizations to these characters that... in subtle ways, where they're not just kind of exposition dumping this on you and expecting you to, come up with this story that is literally like 7,000 years of story. But a lot of the names and a lot of the things that are in our lore are made from these characters according to this story. Like Icarus, who is one of the main characters. The story of Icarus was a story that Sprite, the one that looks like a little kid, made up, and they became a part of the history of humans. So it's really cool to see how they kind of rewrote some things in history, showing that they've been here for thousands and thousands of years. They showed how Phastos, he can make like technology things, and he was giving technology to the humans to kind of advance them, but they don't want to give them too much technology because they want the humans to evolve the way they're supposed to and not just give everything to them. But overall, I really like this movie. I think it's not the best Marvel movie I've ever seen, but it's also not the worst. It's Marvel movies for me. It might be because I'm biased or whatever, but Marvel movies for me, even the worst of Marvel movies, are still better than most action movies that are out. And this is about right in the middle. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Just kind of right in the middle. But the ending, the middle part of the movie to the end really picks up. I really liked the ending. I really liked everything that, all the twists and turns that go through the movie. The beginning is just very drawn out because they're trying to explain a lot of different things. They're trying to explain where they've been for all these years and why we don't know about them. Trying to explain everything that's been going on for 7,000 years and then continuing a story from there on. So it does get a little drawn out. It is a little kind of boring at times, but again, I did have a very bad movie theater experience, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But overall, I still really like this movie. I would give this a 7 out of 10. So now we're going to go into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, come back when you have. And if you have seen the movie or don't care about spoilers, now we're going to talk about the story of the Eternals. So the main spoilers of this story revolve around the Celestials. The Celestials created the Eternals, but you find out later that they also created the Deviants. And the Deviants were supposed to do the same job as the Eternals. They were supposed to come, be the apex predator, and then they kind of went out of control and they couldn't control the Deviants. So then they made the Eternals to then fight them, making both sides. So you find out that the whole purpose of them creating them and sending them to different planets is that they're trying to make the life on the planet have enough energy of life that there's always a celestial inside the planet. And when there's enough power, it is born and it destroys the whole planet, killing everybody. But this new celestial is born, and then the celestials make a new star or a new sun and creates a whole nother galaxy. Basically going off the whole expanding universe, it just is forever expanding. So they make a whole new galaxy, basically creating millions, if not billions, and infinitely more lives by killing a whole planet worth of people. So the Eternals find out about this. Some of them are against it and don't want to kill the people of Earth, and then some of them are, this is their meaning, this is what they're here to do, this is their purpose. The Celestials, who they take the orders from, tell them to do this, so they think some of them think it's the right thing to do. It turns out that Icarus is actually against all of them. He ends up killing Ajax, who is the one person that had the ability to speak with the Celestial, and he ends up killing her, and Ajax then passes it on to Cersei, and Icarus is a little salty that it wasn't him. He gets a little angry, and it makes a feud in between the team. So another character that is in this movie is Kit Harington. He is the one person in this movie who I actually did know that character and knew who he was going to become. He becomes the Black Knight. And there are two after credit scenes. One of the after credit scenes is Harry Styles showing up, and he is the brother of Thanos. He goes by Star Fox, not the video game, but his name is Eros. And then the second after credit scene is Kit Harington. He opens a box, and inside that box is the ebony blade, which is the blade of the Black Knight. So these are the main spoilers of this movie. Again, I really liked the story. When all these things start coming together, the team kind of splits up for a while, and then they're regrouping everybody back together. That's where the movie really starts to pick back up. The beginning of the movie was kind of a slow burn to get there, but once you hit that midpoint onto the end of the movie, it's pretty enjoyable. It's very action-packed, and there's a lot going on. And I really liked a lot of the different little twists and turns. I actually didn't expect Icarus to be the person that was the traitor, and I thought it was a good story. I think the ending, there was a couple things that were just a little maybe rushed, maybe just kind of pieced together just to get to the end, but overall I thought it was a good movie. Again, it's not the best Marvel movie that they have to offer. I think Shang-Chi that came out earlier this year was a little bit better than this, but overall a good solid Marvel movie. I was enjoying finally seeing another Marvel movie in the theaters. I wish I had a better experience in the theater, but those are my thoughts. And if you liked it, like, share, subscribe. Talk to you in the comments, and I'll see you next time.